everybody, and welcome. I'm Leonie, and it is time for another episode of Hope Meets Banter. Alright, here in the studio with me, as always, we have Double H, Drifty Matt, and we also have a special guest today. Welcome, Callum.
Thank you.
Nice to have you here. You guys look very comfy on that sofa there, yeah? All
yeah,
good?
it's all good.
New setup, man. New setup, man.
Very nice.
Easy right now.
Looks good, that's good. Well, let's start easy and relaxed then. I'm not so sure if Liverpool would say the same thing.
God.
We have to talk about it, boys. Okay, FA Cup, right? We had a bit of an upset there. It's Liverpool 1, Wolves 2. I think one of the things that really clearly stand out here is that Klopp really made his priorities straight, right? He shows he doesn't really care about the FA Cup, but who he put in the start 11. Do you think, for being a world-class club, or at least top class in England, is that decision worth it? I mean, you know, he's clearly going for the Premier League, but can he disregard all the other cups and the broad Champions League games like that? What do you think?
I'll go first because I know I'm the only one who
Yeah. I want to hear this. I want to hear this,
We
man.
want to hear it.
I don't mean this in any disrespect, but fuck the FA Cup this season.
Wow. I don't mean it in any disrespect. I don't mean disrespect, but I'm going to disrespect it anyway.
I'm with Klopp. If we'd have gone through and had another game, I don't want to lose any game. This is the thing people need to understand. I don't want to lose any football match. If I had my way, we'd never lose a game for the whole season, win everything. That's obvious. But if you look at the fixture pile-up now that City have, because they're through to the next round of the FA Cup, because they're in the semi-final with the League Cup, they play 2 or 3 more games than we do this month alone. For me, I don't want that. I want the Premier League. I don't care about anything else. Even if we go out the Champions League, I'll be upset for like a day, and then I'll be like, right, let's win the Premier League. Like, I want the Premier League. I've watched Liverpool lift every trophy under the sun, apart from the Premier League. I've seen us lift FA Cups, Europa Leagues, Champions Leagues. I don't care about anything this season but the league.
All right, Callum.
Alright, let
I
me-
think the guest.
yeah,
I think Callum should tell us what is important to him.
I'm going to be really honest. I'm probably one of the most greedy people you'll meet. I want every single trophy at Anfield.
There you go. I like it, yeah.
It's not possible.
I know. But this is what frustrates me is that we should have a squad where we can rotate and not necessarily put out a strong 11 as our main 11, but it should be able to compete. I watched them play against Wolves, and it was a very difficult game to watch.
Horrible.
It was one of the worst games I've seen quality-wise this
First
season.
half
It was
terrible.
atrocious.
I mean, do you think it's fair on the players that get played? I mean, surely that's their moment. I mean, it's their opportunity. Of course, I don't want to take this away, but is it fair?
It was the youngsters that played better than the
16,
senior players, and I think that was the bit
Yeah.
that upset me about the
Well,
game.
Moreno was talking a couple of weeks ago saying he should be in a team, and he was unfairly taken out of the team because he got injured. But I'm watching him play the other day, and I'm thinking he shouldn't even be a footballer.
I'll be real with you. I think he's the worst footballer I've ever seen in my life.
It's embarrassing. Some of the things.
I lie.
He's bad. But
Oh
he's
my
bad. But this is
God.
what I have to kind of give Callum, yeah? Now, don't get twisted. I hear what you're saying. We want Prem. Everyone wants the Prem. The Prem is our bread and butter. But at the same time, as you've made a good point, Leonie, we're supposed to be a world-class club. We're supposed to be able to challenge on all fronts. And as Callum said as well, we don't necessarily have to play our best players, but there could have been a few more senior players that could have played. You get what I'm saying?
You've got
And
to
I think
prioritise,
no. But
bro.
here's the joke though.
You
There's
have to
other
prioritise.
teams that can do this. Man United would do it. Man City would do
They've got
it.
nothing to play for in the
No,
league.
but just hear me out. Regardless, they will rotate because they're not disregarding the cup. I think what Klopp's done is very, very bold, and he better hope it don't come back to bite back in the arse. Because if we don't win the league, what are you gonna say then?
Yeah, he's putting all the
He
eggs in the
put all your eggs in one basket.
The FA Cup would have been nothing to me. We don't win the league. Do you really think the FA Cup will
Let
make
me
me feel
alright,
better?
let me put the let me hear this though.
Bro, it wouldn't
Now
have
hear
made me
this.
feel
Hear this.
any
Okay, say we don't
better.
win the league, yeah, and win the FA Cup. At least it shows Liverpool know how to win a trophy, and now we can start talking about having a winning mentality. Right now, there's no winning mentality. Who knows how to win anything in our cup?
I hear that, but the FA Cup means nothing this season.
I mean, basically,
Double H.
the point is that I get where Drift is coming from. If I was Klopp, that's mindset makes sense, because that's what I said in my review. That mindset makes sense if I look, my God, we have a great opportunity in the Premier League. And I think of when I play Football Manager, anytime, let's say I'm in the league, I'm actually scared of playing my main players in another couple, because I'm like, gosh, if they get injured, I am so screwed.
Which happened to Lovren
I
after
hear
1
that.
minute.
Yeah, no, it's true. But my thing about this is that it's a dangerous game to play, because it puts far more pressure on the team. If you have that mentality of like, we are winning every game, anything, it actually helps you to win the Premier League. But right now, it's like, no. The Premier League is the Premier League. So all the players are like, my God, the pressure is on because there's no other trophy. And Klopp has told us that. So I just think that's mentality and that's pressure of not playing any of your first choice front line means that once you're now in the Premier League, that pressure may actually be adverse for them by Klopp putting us that team in the FA Cup. So I just think I get the move.
It don't change because of the cup.
No. It's even more so now. Like the way that they went out, and that's frontline and that performance. There's even more pressure because Klopp literally said nothing matters apart from this Premier League. So can they deal with that?
Before you move us only, I just want to say as well, that team would have beaten any team bar the top 10 half of the Premier League. And what happened? We got a top 10 half of the Premier League opposition. Who was the other teams that everyone else got? Burton's and Swindon and all that shit. We got a quality opposition.
You're asking for a lot.
We would be in the next round if we'd have had a Burton or a Swindon or one of those clubs that everyone else got. Let's remember the opposition as well, people. Wolves have smacked up Man U,
but you got
Arsenal,
Wolves,
Chelsea,
you got Wolves.
So we have to just say, you know what? If we go out, we go out.
You can't say that. No.
I don't care about
if you know that you had Wolves away, that changes things.
No, it doesn't.
I think we
No,
need
it doesn't. It means the main players might have got injured because it would have been a more harder game, more rough, more tackles, more energy needed. Meaning more. Look, Lovren limped off after 2 minutes.
You're putting a lot in Premier League, man.
That could happen in the Premiership.
Exactly.
That could happen in any game.
But at least the Premiership's the reason why they got injured. I don't want the FA Cup to be the reason they got injured.
It doesn't bother
Bro,
me.
I'm cool with it.
But you're talking like we're certain to win it.
No,
what
I'm not.
you're saying now?
But I'm telling you, how many games is it? 6 games to win the cup? That's 6 extra games. We don't need, people. I'm just telling you, our squad ain't big enough. We don't need them extra 6 games.
All right. So we're gonna see what Liverpool comes up with against Brighton real soon. So we can then debate what Klopp has in store for us back then. All right, let's move on. Let's move from the FA Cup to the Carabao Cup. Okay, definitely something worth talking about. Right, Spurs 1, Chelsea 0. Okay, that was quite a controversial match, right? We had a bit of an upset there. So Pochettino actually said, I don't like the VAR. Sorry, I can't do his accent. Okay, so I'm just saying, no, I don't like the VAR. I'm unhappy to win the game like this, which is quite big, as you say. So the debate is now, obviously, afterwards, a couple of media outlets as well have mentioned that can English referees actually use the VAR? Are they trained enough? Are they good enough to do it? Some say no. I just want to get your opinion on that because, we have the VAR set to be launched next season in the Premier League. And I just want to get a bit of a sense for you to that because within the game as well, we had like 93 seconds till a decision was actually made, which is quite disruptive within the game. So Chelsea said they looked at their system and it says Kane was onside. No, actually the other way around, right? Opposite, sorry, my bad. So Chelsea, they said Kane was offside. The referee, VAR, said he was onside and he got a penalty. So what's your opinion on that? Are you worried about this, Double H?
Well, first of all, I don't know where Sarri got that laptop from. Maybe look, no offense, I love Sarri and everything because that looks like a scene from Goodfellas or something because I'm like, first of all, where are they? What is this laptop? And that line looked like a line that was invented. So I don't know where he got that laptop from. Let's put that to one side. But with regards to VAR, I hated VAR before the World Cup. I said, I don't want my game that I love so much to end up like all these other American games. What makes football beautiful is that it's quick, it's fast, it's on the point. The World Cup changed me, and I think the South Korea-Germany game was a watershed moment, because that decision, a human doesn't make that decision, and that was a huge goal. The issue with it is that Spain, Italy, they've had time. So when they've had time, that means, because I watch La Liga and everything, when you've got time with the technology, you do it quicker. England do not have that time. That took way too long.
Yeah.
That is way too disruptive.
Yeah.
So, but I think within much more time and everything, it shouldn't take more than 40-50 seconds. Literally, referee, he clicks it. It's really quick. They look at it, boom, a few angles, this decision is made. It shouldn't take up to a minute. That was, like I said, like 93 seconds. So I think for Pochettino, look, football has to evolve, and what we want are right decisions being made. What if we had VAR for the Lampard goal against Germany in the 2010 World Cup? If it's 2-2, it changes the entire game. So I think as long as it's quick, it's not too disruptive, and you get it right, I mean, you have to bring it in.
I personally love VAR. The way I liken VAR is, how many times, guys, have we had arguments with our missus, and you're like, no, I said that, and she's like, no, you didn't. How nice would it just be to just rewind and then
VAR, yeah.
and just turn the screen and say, oh, you did say that. That's how I see VAR.
But the problem, just right there, let me interrupt you there. The VAR then needs to be the single source of truth, right? Then it cannot be that the other club has some other laptop, something else installed there. Like,
you know
we
what
have
that
to
is,
have like
though?
some sort of.
That's because, do you hear the joke? They come out and said something about Chelsea's laptop or something. It wasn't calibrated. I was like, what? So basically, Chelsea's version of their line, the laptop wasn't calibrated to how the FA has it or whatever. And I was like,
Why have they even got there?
why have they got their own stuff? Because
real Russian mafia business. Why have they even got
and
their
the
own?
angle that it shows you, what it is, they're smart. It doesn't show you like the whole, like that. It doesn't show you where Kane's body's leaning. If you look carefully, there's two different angles, right? There's one where Kane looks offside, and one where he's onside. Bro, Kane was onside.
Yeah.
He was not offside. The Chelsea one have got some weird angle where man's basically, it's like they've just, a bit of Photoshop, edge off a little bit of his shoulder, and it's like, why does Kane's body look kind of weird, like up here, bro?
Well,
he was on.
I guess though, one of the things, it needs to run smoothly, right? Because I think the defenders kind of stopped because the linesmen stopped, right? This is at least what Chelsea is arguing, right? I mean, okay, Drifty, what's your opinion on this? Because I think one of the things that we all agree on, we don't want this to be a debating game. It needs to be 90 minutes of football, and we don't everybody to stop and also question referee. I think needs to empower the referee more again, rather than allowing everybody to debate or come up to the referee again and just argue, which has happened in the past.
Yeah, and so I get where Double H is coming from with the World Cup, because the World Cup changed me as well, because a small team like Korea wouldn't have been given that decision, and they knocked out the giant of Germany through a right decision.
Thanks for reminding me of that.
My bad.
Thank you.
But
Auf Wiedersehen.
But so that made it a really good thing, because it was like we would have never been allowed to know that was what happened. But I don't like the delay, and as Double H said again, and I agree, no disrespect to the American sport, but the reason I can't really watch American sport is because I feel there's too stop-start. Everything's like, oh, time out, pause, everything. Like, I hate it. Like, just get on with the fucking game. And if VAR is used anytime you want, and we get like 10 incidents in the first half, and it's like 10 minutes of extra time with all that, did it. Our referees aren't even good at refereeing the game. How can we trust them to learn VAR? Like, honestly, when was the last time you watched the game and it was refereed really well?
Not often.
So how are we going to trust them to
No,
learn
but that's
VAR?
another reason why I think that they need help, though,
Yeah,
because
they
I
do.
think like human make human errors, innit? That's the thing. No one's gonna be perfect.
Need help
Whereas-
from where?
What do you mean?
Technology.
Technology, bro.
But the technology will tell the human, and the human will still get it wrong.
No, the technology
He
can't
can look
get
at the
it wrong.
screen.
No, but in the World Cup,
Yeah.
how many times was there a foul? They said they went to VAR, and the man looking went, nah, it wasn't. And it still is. He's got it wrong. He's got it right
Yeah,
in
but
front
that's
of him.
just that. Yeah,
and
but
he's
that,
still
yeah,
got
but
it wrong.
Yeah,
Then you're gonna get what
that's
people like that,
unnecessary.
bruv, that can't even use the
Exactly, and that's
equipment.
my point.
No, but I'm
Those
sure-
are the people refereeing our
No,
games.
Nah, that's
sure,
an anomaly.
no,
That's
but
an
that's gonna
anomaly.
increase. There'll be better people coming
I have
in,
no
man.
faith VAR will work for at least
Nah,
3,
it needs
4
to come
years.
in. But the thing
it's
is,
going to
though,
take
I
ages
think it
before
needs
it's
to
No, it needs to
It has
come
to
in,
come in,
bro.
it has to
It
come
needs
in,
to
it has
come
to
in
come in.
still. Because too many things are
I
getting
don't care
wrong.
if
Too
it
many
doesn't
things.
come.
There's too many like errors. I can't lie to you. There's too many errors, man.
It's all
We
part of the
had
banter, innit?
Liverpool had one penalty. Sorry, no penalties in 2018 at Anfield. was
Yeah,
it?
no penalties.
None.
I
I saw
know.
Mo get
Mane.
Yeah, all of them get
So
hack
got a
out.
rugby tackle in
That's
the
what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, but it's all part of the banter, isn't it?
All right, Callum, you mentioned Liverpool. Let's go back quickly to Drifty, your club. So Liverpool, they say, got quite an inflated fee for Coutinho, plus 30 million for a third-choice goalkeeper, and they have just sold Solanke for 20 million, when in fact 2 years ago they literally just he was worth about 4. At least that's what they said. So, question for you guys: is Edwards getting enough credit for the job that he's doing? For
Can I just say from record, no. Liverpool pulled off one of the greatest finesses in history. How they got Barcelona to pay 140 million for a flop in Coutinho. I think Liverpool needs to be congratulated on an amazing finesse in that transfer.
I don't think he's a flop.
He's not a flop.
He's a flop.
Okay,
He's a flop.
listen, Philip Coutinho, whether you think he's worth 140 million or not, is a spectacular player. I'm sick of everyone jumping on his back.
Then why hasn't he performed for
Because
Barcelona?
nobody goes to Barcelona apart from the few talent like Neymar or Suarez. And remember, they still accommodated Suarez because they needed him. With Coutinho, they're trying to get him to play here, there and everywhere while getting used to the country, while getting used to the pressure, everything. Why is he up? You know how well he played between January and the summer? Why is everyone only judging him from you know what I mean?
Okay,
he fitted in straight
What about
away.
Ousmane Dembele? He's fitting in great.
But he wasn't there last season. He was the one being messed around last season.
and
And everyone thought he was going to leave. So
called him
it's
a flop.
Barcelona and their bullshit. Don't tell me Coutinho
So you're
isn't
telling
a top
Is Coutinho worth
player.
100? Are you
He's
going
easily
to
worth
tell me
100. Maybe 140 was over the top, but he's easily worth 100.
100?
Do you know how good this guy is?
He's not as good as you
You're
think he
forgetting
is.
how good he was.
You know, he's not as good as you think
People,
he is.
listen, let me say this here. People have got short memories, yeah.
Of course they have.
And this is the thing. Coutinho now, he's only been there for what, a year? Same time as when Van Dijk, went to Liverpool, been there a year. In 44 appearances, I think he's got 15 goals in all competitions, yeah. Apparently that's a flop. Apparently this is a guy that just can't play the Barca way. Let me say this. Everyone that goes to Barcelona, as you just mentioned, yeah, it's all about playing for Messi. Playing for Messi, that's the big thing. Okay. At Liverpool, he was given a lot more freedom. Now he's been told to play a lot more structured football where you're not the main guy anymore, and it's going to take time to
Then
adapt.
readjust.
Also,
Why can't you readjust?
but
if you're
also,
so
yeah,
good?
but that's what he's trying to do there now. And also, on top of that, they don't know where they need to play him. They don't know whether they need to play him on the left wing. Then let's play him in the midfield. They don't know where they need to
him
play
everywhere,
him.
and he's flopped.
No,
Why
but
can't
that's
you be the guy
no,
who
but
doesn't
you got to
as good
let
as he
someone
says,
settle.
man?
As you said, of Ousmane Dembele, he did not start off amazing. In fact, no, tell a lie. He started off really good. Then he just went for this barren spell where he just basically gave up. Didn't even want to turn up for training.
He's not getting better.
He's got but
We
again,
haven't
he had a patch in form though.
I really like the rendition, the debate about Coutinho, but actually the question was about Edwards.
I know.
Oh yeah.
That's
You know what?
okay.
That's what I was just saying. You like running away.
Round two, can we go back?
Let's get that out. It's my fault. I had to get that out.
Coutinho got me mad. though.
Edwards is literally one of the biggest G's I've ever seen in my life. And you know what? A lot of it may look like we're robbing people, but
You are
technically-
you are robbing people.
because there's a lot of
It is robbery.
No, there's a lot of the players that
Liverpool's
he's
gotta
got
eat.
rid of that he's gotten rid of. Jordan Ibe had a lot of potential. It was his fault he flopped, not because he was a bad player. Do you know what I mean? Jordan Ibe had a lot of potential. Solanke may not have done well for Liverpool, but for England, he has been very, very good. They're paying for the potential of somebody who, in my opinion, will go on at that level to be a very good player.
Are you sure?
Yeah, no, he will.
Fam,
No, he
fam,
will.
be real.
Yeah.
Fam, be real. We've had private conversations
Yeah,
about
because he's not good
Solanke.
enough for us,
dead-
but he's good enough for
food, fam.
Bournemouth.
He's dead food. He's
No,
dead
no,
food.
no, there's
He's
levels.
dead food.
No, there's levels.
No, fam, he's dead
No,
food.
no, no,
Come
there's
on, be
levels.
real, bro. He's dead food.
He's not good enough.
Nah, bro,
He's not
come
good
on.
enough for the
Let me-
elite, but he's good enough for a mid-table.
Is he better than
Premier League
Arnautovic
team.
at West Ham?
Arnautovic could play for an elite club, though.
Is he better than Arnautovic?
Arnautovic could play for an elite club.
Where, in your opinion, do you think he could play? Like in terms of what level?
But Arnautovic is playing below the level.
Give me a team where you think he will be good. at that club.
Arnautovic.
No.
Solanke.
Solanke, yeah.
Newcastle, Everton, Bournemouth,
Not Everton.
Brighton,
Not
teams
Everton.
that play good
See,
football.
Brighton.
You just said Brighton.
See, this is what I'm saying, bro.
Mid-table-ish Premier League.
Nah, that's near the
clubs.
bottom, bro.
Yeah, Brighton.
That's near the
Right,
bottom.
Mid-table to bottom, then.
And that's not very good.
That's not very good, though,
I
bro.
don't rate him.
What can you buy for
I'm
20
not gonna
million in
lie.
this market? Listen, Edwards, he's finessing people, but at the same time, he's letting them realise they're paying for potential. That if the guy has the right mentality, they can achieve.
No.
And I love him.
I'm gonna be real.
He's a
Michael
master.
Edwards,
Great job, great
He
job.
is the
He's
guy.
a master.
He can sell you. Listen, when I sell this phone, I'm giving it to Michael Edwards, bro. He's gonna get me some beef with it. Are you mad, bro? I'm gonna be real.
He's a genius.
He has. Listen, some of the players, as you've mentioned, yeah, they like. Listen, Brad Smith.
6 mil.
£6 million for Brad. Bro, do you even know where he is now?
No, still.
Is he still a footballer?
He's
Does he,
still,
like,
still there. He's still there.
still there?
He's better than Moreno.
As you said, he sold Ibe for how much? 16? Was it 16 for Ibe?
15.
15. 20
Wow.
million for Solanke. I'm not gonna lie. Listen,
Okay.
No.
Happy
Trade
days.
with the
140 for
talent.
Coutinho is still
No,
the
no,
greatest
no,
finish
that's
And
of all
plus,
time.
he is very good at being able to make sure he gets Klopp who Klopp wants
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, it's
He's,
true.
he's a G.
Michael Edwards.
Commercially, he's a G.
He's
Yeah.
quality. He should be handling Brexit. He should be handling Brexit.
Do you hear that, Edwards?
He's quality.
Please handle that for us. Well, I like it. So, I mean, you know, you're talking about Solanke and all these other players, but there's definitely also somebody else that we need to talk about this week. Mourinho called him a maestro. We had Antonio Conte describing him as decisive, and we have even Pep Guardiola saying about him, when he has the ball in 1 second, he is the most special player in the world. So who am I talking about? Of course it is Cesc Fàbregas. Please tell me that I pronounced
Nah,
that
you
name
did,
right.
you did.
I thought you
Okay.
were going to say Hazard.
Right.
I was going to
So- Fabregas, one
Yeah,
of
that's-
the finest midfielders, is departing from English football, from the Premier League.
He's great.
Where does he rank in terms of the Premier League's top central midfielders, in your opinion, guys?
of all time.
Well, I think maybe just for this year. Let's go for last. Let's go for the last year.
From the last year. Oh no, he doesn't rank anyway. Like he's unranked. Like,
Damn, unranked, you know.
Right. No,
Maybe
of all
one's
time.
right and then
okay, no,
Let's expand it. Let's
Let's be
expand
fair
it.
then.
Okay,
Let's
let's
talk
expand.
about from when he got here then.
Yeah,
Oh,
fair
yeah,
enough.
yeah,
Fair
yeah.
enough.
And when,
Yeah,
when he
yeah,
went
yeah,
back,
yeah.
the 10 years of
Yeah,
like,
we gotta give him that credit. We gotta give him.
Okay,
his
let me
dues,
think
man.
about Fabregas. We never saw the best Fabregas
Premiership.
over a long period of time in the Premier
I
League.
agree with that.
At a point, for me, Fabregas was one of the best. How can I say? Like he was one of the best at making very difficult passes. During Spain's reign, that period, if you look at the kind of passes he made, even for Barcelona, and when he went back to Barcelona, the kind of passes he made, through balls he made, I was like, no, this guy sees passes, and the way he was executing these passes, I was like, no, this guy is making difficult passes and executing them. We never saw him do that for a long period of time. He would do it for like maybe a season, maybe 10, 12 games. But there was never a point where like I would say, nah, man, Fabregas is one of the best midfielders. I never said that. Like, he never did what Scholes did, what Gerrard
There
Oh,
we
did.
go.
Okay,
There we
relax,
go.
chill. What Vieira did, what all these
But
guys
there was a huge. You see the two clubs you just said. He was black up front for those clubs. He wasn't even a midfielder for Spain and Barcelona.
Playing
He was like a
false nine.
false number 9. It was more Arsenal when his passing was on smash.
Yeah.
And the first season at Chelsea,
Yeah.
that was when.
No. Barcelona. Not Spain and Barcelona. He was a
But for
a
me,
part of the midfield.
see,
He was a
for me,
false nine.
Fabregas is a good player. There's no doubt about it.
Great
but
squad.
I think Fabregas is one of those kind of, is he great or is he very good players? Because for me, for a start, you need 90 minutes worth of stamina. I don't understand how you can be 25 and you can't play 90 minutes. Like, this guy is always substituted. He never finished games. I don't get that, personally. And I think longevity and stamina and things, they add to whether you're a great player. So if it goes to extra time, we can't have Fabregas anymore. That's shit. And for me, the consistency, he never was a great player from the first game to the 38th game. There'd be loads of times there'd be like 10 games and he wouldn't do anything and he'd go missing. Then he'll come back, then he'll go, and it'll be like, I don't think we can call him a great. I've heard people saying he's one of the best midfielders of all time that's ever played in the Premier League. For me, that's ridiculous.
All right.
Actually, no. I'm going to take issue with what Drifty just said. I can't finish full games as well, so you can't have beef against guys with low
Just wanna argue
stamina.
with it.
Yeah, but that's
Okay,
terrible.
Matt, quickly, will you miss him? Let us know. Will you miss
I
him?
think that the Premier League will miss him. I think what he done at Arsenal was
Miss
something.
him?
Yeah, in a sense of
Miss him? Wait, how?
listen, in terms of like,
We didn't miss him when he was here.
oh, wow, the way you're listen. I'm not saying Fabregas is one of the.
Let
me finish.
Fabregas, man. Come on, bro.
You lot are savage out here.
Not
What's
gonna
going
miss
on?
it, bro.
Let me
Come on,
just
let's
say
just
my
be real.
piece. Jeez, these lot are savages, you know. Listen, Fabregas is a very, very good player. He's not great. He's not great. Obviously, he's not on Gerrard's level, Lampard, as his
That's
goals.
what I'm saying.
But listen, in Arsenal's time when they were considered one of the best teams in Europe, Fabregas was part of that. When Chelsea won the league, Fabregas was part of that. When Barcelona won the league, Fabregas was part of that.
Was it the
Yeah,
star?
but
He was
there's
part of
many
it.
players.
Let me finish. When Spain
fair.
decided to do their false nine, who was the first false nine? I'm pretty sure it was Fabregas. Am I right or am I wrong?
Fabregas made the assist for Iniesta in the World Cup as well, you know, to get the winner.
There
Oh,
you
come
go.
on. You can't
No,
call that an
No,
assist.
but we're not saying...
It
No,
was a
but,
2-yard pass. Come on,
No,
anybody
but-
can make
but
that
this
pass.
is the...
man,
But
come
we
on.
can say... You got to give man his credentials. Well, no one's saying he's great, but he's a very,
you
very...
said that.
Basically,
People would
to
miss
sum
him.
up what you're saying, he's the workhorse that didn't work that hard because he couldn't last 90 minutes.
No.
He's the
I'll
type
give
of
him more
player
than
who
that.
you carry around because what he can do is amazing. He's almost like a...
He's a weapon. A very good weapon to have.
What's that? What a luxury player. I think Fabregas is a
No,
luxury
easy.
player. He can't defend.
Nah, that's
Can't
Ozil.
defend.
That's
You're
Ozil.
taking-
You can't. No, that's
Fabregas is
disrespectful.
like Ozil.
That's been dis-
Fabregas-
No, Drifter, get out of there.
Fabregas
No, Drifter,
cannot
get out.
defend.
Get
He
out.
can't defend.
You can't compare him to Ozil.
He won't do anything.
Ozil,
He can't finish games. but he'll
Ozil
make
is
that
a luxury
pass
player.
that will
You
win
can't
the match.
Let's
say-
leave the Germans out of this. Still a sore topic
Wait.
today,
You
okay?
can't call Ozil is the definition of a luxury player.
Yeah,
Fabregas
not Cesc.
actually shows up and literally engineers things. What
But then he'll
Fabregas
go
was
missing for 10 games.
What's
and then he'll
Fabregas-
come back.
All right.
Did Ozil ever do what Fabregas did for Barcelona and
I
Spain?
think
No,
we
he
can't
didn't.
make this
Fabregas
comparison
is
now,
better
guys.
than
We
Ozil.
have to wrap this up, but quickly before we go, we shall not miss out on doing a little bit of a preview for the upcoming games, right? Because we've got exciting stuff happening. So we've got Spurs versus Manchester United. I want a quick preview of what you think, and please don't say draw. Whoever it says, it's double H, right? Yeah, he's talking 10 minutes and then it's a draw. So you have time to think.
Okay,
Matt,
give him time to
you have time to think. Matt, you start us off,
I'll be
please.
quick.
Yeah.
Spurs playing at home, Man
Yeah.
United are playing away. For me, I'm actually going to say Man United are going to win this. They're going to surprise everyone. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has
Yeah.
got them playing some good football.
Yeah.
This is their first major test, and I think they're going to surprise people. Me personally, I'm going Man United 2-1.
I like that. I like that. Drifty.
Man United's going to win it.
Yeah, right.
I think Tottenham are going to do what they always do when they go into games that they're meant to win and not. Everyone thinks they're going to blow Man United away and win like 2 or 3-0. I don't think it's going to be
Alright.
Solskjaer why Man U win. I just think Man United have a good feel about them at the moment, and I just think it won't be Spurs that stop it.
Definitely some momentum there. I get you.
Yeah, I'm going 3-1 Man United, I think.
Woo!
Yeah.
3-1. That's
Yeah.
bold for the
Yeah.
guest today.
Yeah,
I
just
like
think
it.
As Drift, you were just saying, they've just got a good feel-good factor. I hate seeing it, but they have. At the
All
moment.
right.
You see
Double
this?
H.
See, this is why half hope is
Oh, here
is
we
is
go.
needed. You've all fallen for the trick and drank the Kool-Aid. As good as United have been, that defense is treated in the trash, and Tottenham will expose it. Yes, they don't. I think they'll still have. I think this is Son's last game before he goes to the Asia Cup. 3-2 to Tottenham.
3-2.
Controversial. I like it.
I think Man
Very
United.
good. Very good. Okay, we've got Chelsea, Newcastle. Let's keep it that way.
Chelsea, Newcastle. Chelsea, being at home, Newcastle, they're one of them teams where they don't travel well. I think St James's Park, they might cause more problems, but I think Chelsea should have too much problems
Is
for
it
them.
because of the accent and nobody understands them?
Maybe. Who knows?
That's
Maybe.
beef, man.
Maybe.
Look,
I
man,
don't know.
I'm not
I love-
co-signing
I
that
love it.
statement.
I love
Please.
it.
I don't
We
know.
love you. We love
I'm
you,
not
Newcastle.
They're one of the
There's
hardest
nothing
people
in.
out there. Their man will go to games about their tops on it.
Yeah, man. In the
I don't
in
mess
minus
around with them
20,
brothers.
in minus 20
I
Celsius.
don't
man.
mess with the Geordies.
Chelsea will
man.
win it. Chelsea win it.
Chelsea
2-0.
winning it right
2-0.
with my accent, since I also have one. I ask
Yeah,
you.
Chelsea will win this.
Chelsea? Good.
Chelsea, yeah.
Chelsea.
No. Hazard mustn't play a false 9. He's having to do too much, and I don't want Morata being played. Then Giroud has to start as a striker. So.
All right.
Shouldn't Hazard adapt like Coutinho, though?
Okay.
Sorry.
Why do you have to bring that up? Too?
All right. We've got Brighton, Liverpool. Drifty, you can start. It's your team.
If we don't win this,
Don't use reverse psychology. Give me your real score. Give me the real score.
I'm
Give me the real
telling you,
score.
if we do not win this game, I will riot on my own.
Okay.
So we better
Now
fucking
I
win
want
this
to see
game.
them lose because I want to see Drifty
No, give a
riot.
scoreline, give a
Of course,
scoreline.
right?
I don't give scoreline, but we
Oh, give
better
it. No,
fucking
come on.
win
No.
this game.
Leonie, tell him to give a scoreline. You have to give a
Yeah,
scoreline.
tell them to give it.
We will
Give a
win.
scoreline.
We will win.
No, give a
We're all
score.
teaming up here. It's okay. I'll let it go today.
Such a win.
Next time. Oi. Language. All right, kids. Tell 'em.
Wait till Nigeria's playing.
I'm not looking forward to this game.
Okay.
But I think Liverpool will squeeze out the win.
All right.
They need to win because my heart can't take another.
Okay. Okay.
I love a pound.
Matt. Brighton versus Liverpool.
I think we'll just scrape through. We'll just do it. But I'm worried about Glenn Murray. I can't lie to you. If he pins himself on Fabinho, we're in trouble, bro. I can't lie to you, bro.
Squeeze out this
So
win like
I
a
think we'll
foot
just do it.
Klopp, I'm available by the way as well. If
Oi.
you need a centre back, I'm available.
Get it now for real.
I'll take cut price. I'll do it and I'll die for the shirt. I will.
Wait, actually, can I say so?
No, we'll do this.
So in 2019, we're now living in a world where we are now afraid of a dude called Glenn Murray. That's a problem. Liverpool win 2-1. It's a
All right.
squeeze.
I said 2-1.
Got it.
Yeah, I said 2-1.
Last but not least, Wolves just won versus City.
Who's at home? City at home.
Manchester City. I think
City,
Wolves
yeah.
at home.
Oh,
No,
City.
City.
My bad.
City at
City
home.
is
I
at
hate
home.
to say.
Apologies.
City are destroying them. I can't. Actually,
Yeah.
you know what?
No. City's gonna win this.
No, you know what? You know what?
Reverse
Wolves.
psychology.
No, they're gonna win this.
Reverse psychology.
They're gonna win this.
Yeah,
I
Wolves.
know you, Drifty.
Wolves,
I
I
know
think
you. I
Wolves.
know
Matt
you,
is
man.
going
I had that
Wolves.
same feeling when Palace when Palace beat them. I told this guy Palace will beat City. He's like, bro, you're chatting rubbish. Palace ain't got a chance. What happened? Townsend's got a banger. And it probably was because of the hair transplant. I don't care. But he still scored, bro.
All right,
I'm
at
going
least
Wolves.
he looked pretty.
Yeah, man, I'm going Wolves.
4-0 City.
Oh, wow.
bro.
Okay, count.
Yeah, 3-0 City.
Oh.
All right.
Okay, no, first of all, yeah, City are going to win 2-0. And Drifty's scoreline is reverse psychology. I use it as well. It is the oldest, cheapest trick in the book. It is, no. Don't say anything. Don't say anything. It is the cheapest trick.
They think they're the
I've
shit
used
again.
the same psychology
No,
before.
they
You're
think
using
they're the-
juju and bloody white magic to try and
They
get
will win
City.
every game they
Drifty-
play at home by 3 goals.
I'm not
They
listening
may
to you.
lose
I know
away,
your
they may
tricks. I know
drop
your
points
tricks.
away from home.
Listen,
They will win every home game by 3 goals. Mark my words.
Wolves. Listen, you know me. There's no tricks involved. I say how it is. I think Wolves are going to shock people, and I think
right.
they're going to win 2-1.
That's
Good argument to finish on. Thank you so much for tuning in today. As always, so good to have you with us. We're excited to see then all those games and see who is right from Double H, Callum, Drifty, or Matt. Thank you so much. Thank you to you out there as well. Don't forget to follow us on all the social media channels, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye bye.
Peace.